Have you ever found yourself pulling away from someone who genuinely cared about you? Maybe they were kind, patient, and consistent, but the closer they got, the more uncomfortable you felt. You stopped replying to their messages. You became distant. You found flaws that never bothered you before, or you convinced yourself they deserved someone better. Then, once they were gone, you missed them. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're afraid of love. It often means your mind has learned to associate closeness with danger. Many of us think pushing people away is a conscious choice, but in reality, it's often an automatic protective response shaped by past experiences. If you've been hurt, rejected, abandoned, criticized, or emotionally neglected, your brain starts looking for signs that history might repeat itself. Even when someone is treating you with genuine care, your nervous system isn't asking, "Is this person good for me?" It's asking, "Am I safe?" And sometimes, those are two very different questions. Let's look at why this happens. The first reason is that vulnerability feels more dangerous than loneliness. Loving someone means allowing them to see parts of you that you usually hide. Your fears, your insecurities, your imperfections. But if opening up has led to pain in the past, your brain remembers. So instead of risking rejection, you reject first. It's a form of emotional self-protection. You tell yourself you're just being independent, or that the relationship isn't right, when deep down, you're simply trying to avoid getting hurt. The heartbreaking part is that this protection can also block the very connection you crave. The second reason is that your brain mistakes familiarity for safety. If you grew up around unpredictable relationships, constant criticism, emotional distance, or chaos, those patterns become familiar. Not healthy, just familiar. So when someone is calm, consistent, and emotionally available, it can feel strangely uncomfortable. There's no emotional chase, no uncertainty, no dramatic highs and lows. Your brain may interpret that calmness as boredom because it's different from what it learned to expect. Sometimes, people don't run from unhealthy love. They run from healthy love because it feels unfamiliar. The third reason is fear of being truly known. When someone loves you deeply, they start seeing the real you. For someone with low self-worth, that can feel terrifying. You might secretly believe that if they knew everything about you, they'd eventually leave. So before they get the chance, you create distance yourself. You overthink every conversation. You become emotionally unavailable. You pick unnecessary arguments. You convince yourself the relationship won't last anyway. It feels like you're protecting yourself from future heartbreak. But in reality, you're grieving a loss that hasn't even happened. The fourth reason is that your inner critic becomes louder than their love. Sometimes the hardest voice to silence isn't someone else's. It's your own. It whispers things like, "You're too much. You're not enough." They'll leave once they know the real you. When those beliefs become deeply rooted, genuine affection can feel suspicious. Instead of accepting love, you question it. Instead of feeling secure, you wait for the disappointment you assume is coming. Your inner critic filters every act of kindness through the lens of fear. And eventually, fear begins making decisions that love never would. The good news is that these patterns are not permanent. They were learned, which means they can also be unlearned. Healing doesn't happen by forcing yourself to stop feeling afraid. It happens by becoming curious about your reactions instead of judging them. The next time you feel the urge to pull away from someone who has done nothing wrong, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I responding to this person? Or am I responding to an old wound? Notice what your body is feeling. Is it fear? Shame? The expectation of rejection? Simply naming the emotion can reduce its power. Another helpful practice is communicating instead of disappearing. You don't have to explain everything perfectly. Even saying, "I'm feeling overwhelmed and need a little time, but I don't want to push you away," creates connection instead of confusion. And finally, remember that trust isn't built all at once. It's built through small moments of consistency. You don't have to force yourself to believe everyone is safe. You simply allow people to earn your trust over time, while reminding yourself that the past doesn't always predict the future. If you've spent years protecting your heart, it makes sense that opening it again feels frightening. But healing isn't about becoming fearless. It's about learning that not everyone who comes close intends to hurt you. Some people arrive to stay. And sometimes, the hardest part isn't finding someone who loves you. It's believing you're safe enough to let them. If this message resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might remind someone else that they're not alone. And if you'd like more videos on relationship psychology, emotional healing, and understanding human behavior, don't forget to subscribe. Take care of yourself. Healing is a journey, and every small step matters.